We all love the sport of boxing. We love the history, we love the competitiveness, we love the difference in styles, we love the excitement before the fight. But the problem is, in the last decade, the best were not willing to fight the best. But recently, we started seeing some great fights. First, we witnessed a fight between two boxing superstars in Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. It was a clash of two great boxers, and we loved every second of it. Then, we recently watched a fight between Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Another fight where both boxers are elite and at the top of their division. We also enjoyed that fight. It was a great technical battle. The decision was a bit controversial, but that's a story for another video. But the point is, something is obviously changing. And this time, not for the worse. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, two of the best boxers on the planet as of this moment. There have been many videos analyzing both of these men, analyzing their styles and their ways to victory. Their potential clash has been talked about for years, but the fight never came to fruition. Most of the time, money was the problem. The two sides never came to a deal. Until now. They are set to fight on July 29th in Las Vegas. I can't explain with words how excited I am for this matchup. Not just this matchup, but the whole state of boxing. We are finally seeing fighters out of their comfort zones. Just like the UFC has been doing for years. They are constantly putting on fights in which the best are actually fighting the best. That has to do a lot with the fact that the UFC is an independent organization, so they can easily set up super fights because all of the best fighters are under their contract. But still, they put on fights the fans want to see. And boxing started doing the same. It's crazy to think that such a high number of boxers have an undefeated record. And it's not because they are unbeatable, but because their promoters and managers are giving them easy fights. It's becoming sad to watch a high-level fighter beat up a journeyman. And I'm fully aware of the fact that that's just how boxing works, and it's been like that for years. But it's honestly just sad. Especially when they're talking about their undefeated record as it has any value. As I mentioned in my Davis versus Garcia video, most of the boxers in this sport's history have at least one loss on their records, and it's not a shame. It's not a shame because they lost to the best. They wanted to challenge themselves, they wanted to cement their legacy even more, but they fell short, and nobody shamed them for doing that. The sport of boxing is filled with greasy promoters and organizations that only care for the money. And it's been like that for many years. That's why the recent times are making me extremely happy. The fighters are going out of their way to actually set up a fight with their biggest rivals. Just look at Usyk. The man accepted far less money just to have an opportunity to fight Tyson Fury. He wanted to show the world that he's the best heavyweight in the world.
Greedy belly, I accept your offer. 70-30 split to fight with you on April 29th at Wembley.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Tyson, but it's obvious he's ducking the fight and ruining his legacy. If he doesn't want to fight, simply retire. Don't go around social media talking about fighting all these boxers, but then end up fighting a fighter that's levels below you. Or even worse, not fight at all. He became way too comfortable with saying things that are just not true. It's not only him, a big number of fighters are doing that. The sport of boxing is becoming less and less noble, with money being the only motive for success. That's why the fight between Spence and Crawford is so important. That's why a young Garcia taking on a challenge and fighting arguably the best boxer in the world in Gervonta is so vital for this sport. This could be the last super fight of this year. Matter of fact, this could be the last super fight of the next 2 years. But I honestly doubt it. I really think this could impact the sport of boxing in the best way possible. It's going to set an example for other young up-and-comers and the older fighters as well. This fight could really be a turning point for boxing. The fact that I'm actually starting to get excited about the future is all you need to know. Recently, the only fights I got super excited about were the UFC fights. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Just remember how excited the fans were after Islam fought Alexander Volkanovski or after Israel knocked out Alex. Literally everyone was talking about the knockout the whole Sunday. The whole world was shocked. Do you think that knockout would produce the same reaction if Israel knocked out a number 10 contender? Of course not. most people wouldn't care. In this case, even the people that don't watch the sport of mixed martial arts have seen the viral video of him knocking out Alex. Because they knew the backstory, they knew that he just knocked out his rival. They knew that these two fighters were one of the best in the world. That's the type of reactions boxing could have and will have if they continue setting up amazing fights. There is a ton of possibilities for out-of-this-world matchups, so we could be in for a treat. And I really hope I'm right when I say this. The sport of boxing is truly changing. For the better.